Here are 4 reasons why Gordon Hayward should sign with the Miami Heat. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because every other YouTuber is talking about how Gordon Hayward should go to the Boston Celtics, but I'm over here, I'm like, you know what, I've got people in my comment section saying, you want me to do something a little bit different, you want me to do original content, and so I'm here bringing you original content. I'm doing the Miami Heat and why Gordon Hayward should sign with the Miami Heat. And yeah, I am a Miami Heat fan, so if this prediction is correct, I'm going to be real happy, alright? I'm going to be celebrating, I'm going to be going crazy because I need Gordon Hayward to come to the Miami Heat. Because Gordon Hayward, he is one of the most sought after free agents this offseason, and the Miami Heat are making some serious noise to actually get him. They are one of 3 suitors, in my opinion, to land Gordon Hayward. There are 3 suitors. He's only organized 3 meetings. One with Utah, one with Boston, and the first one was with Miami. And apparently the Miami Heat meeting went really, really well. So I'm over here being like, you know what? I'm hearing B-Styles talk about Gordon Hayward to Boston. I'm seeing Dom2K talking about Gordon Hayward to Boston. These guys are Boston fans, so where are my Heat fans at? There is none. So I'm gonna do my Miami Heat and let's get it. The Miami Heat, they haven't really looked to get anybody besides Gordon Hayward so far. They're really waiting to see where Gordon Hayward goes because they haven't tried to re-sign anyone. James Johnson, they haven't tried to re-sign the GOAT, Dion Waiters. But for real, they haven't even tried to sign anyone yet. They're really just pushing to get Gordon Hayward. And to be honest with you, they have a really strong chance, which is why I'm making this video. And honestly, I just want to see this video do really well because I want to predict Miami Heat getting Gordon Hayward and then actually happen. Because to be honest, do I think it will happen? I think it's honestly a 50-50 chance. Actually, to be honest, it's probably like a 30-30-30. 30% Utah, 30% Boston, 30% Miami. But I do believe that it's a strong chance that Gordon Hayward could come to the Miami Heat, and I think they are a real possible suitor to land Gordon Hayward. And I mean, he's a 27-year-old star, and here's 4 reasons why Gordon Hayward should sign with the Miami Heat. Number 1, money isn't a real issue when you go to Miami. Now obviously with Gordon Hayward, if he signs with the Jazz once again, if he re-signs, he will obviously get as much money as possible that the Jazz can offer him. Max money in Utah. But it really isn't an issue because with Hayward getting left off the All-NBA team, the Jazz actually don't have a chance to re-sign him to a 5-year, $207 million designated player veteran extension that was allowed in the new collective bargaining agreement. And that's pretty crazy because Gordon Hayward, if he was in the East, he would definitely make an All-NBA team in my opinion. But because he was in the West, he didn't get it. He doesn't get that $207 million, and he doesn't get the super max contract. The Jazz won't have much of an advantage over other teams to re-sign him because, well, they still don't actually get to offer him that much more. They get to offer him $175 million over 5 seasons. The difference comes out to about $36 million that the Jazz can no longer offer Hayward over the course of the contract. So Gordon Hayward getting left off an All-NBA team makes it not that much better for Utah when it comes to negotiating a contract. Other teams will only be able to offer Gordon Hayward a max contract worth $130 million, but over 4 seasons. In other words, when it comes to Hayward's annual earning average, the playing field is pretty much even. He will be able to earn $34.05 million in Utah, $33.23 in Miami, and $31.54 in Boston. Now, that is $2 million less if he goes to Boston than Miami, but it's less than $1 million from Miami to Utah. So then again, Miami better than Boston. Utah is still better than Miami, but it's less than $1 million anyway. So is it that much better? Because as you can see from the annual averages, signing with Miami would put more money thanks to the state income tax in Hayward's pocket than signing with Boston, and would cost him less than $1 million to leave the Utah Jazz. Now, despite what I've just said, you're probably thinking, well, okay, Miami can offer him a lot of money, but still, Utah can still offer him more money. However, if Hayward signs a 4-year deal with a player option for the 4th season, he could more than make that money up. A non-Jazz team that signs Hayward this summer will acquire his bird rights after 3 years, which means Hayward can opt out then when the salary cap is even greater and re-sign a more lucrative deal with higher annual raises. So by missing out on the All-NBA team, Hayward loses more money but gains options, especially if he signs with the Miami Heat. Number 2, the coaching. Now, I get it. Brad Stevens was Gordon Hayward's coach in college, and I understand that. But when you actually think about it, Hayward only spent 2 seasons under Brad Stevens as a coach in college. So, does that really... I mean, I don't know about their chemistry. I don't really know how much they are friendly with each other. They probably are really good friends, but in fact, it's only 2 years that they spent together. Do you really know if Hayward wants to play under his college coach? Like, is that a real impact? I don't know. If I'm Gordon Hayward, I just want to play under the best coach possible. The connection between Hayward and his college coach, Brad Stevens, is made often. I've even talked about it on occasions. I think it's pretty obvious and somewhat contrived. We don't know that Hayward wants to play for Stevens again. Now, I'm not discounting that Stevens is a great coach, or that Hayward may want to play with him. I'm just saying it's not the only factor when it comes to Brad Stevens and coaching. When it comes to coaching, few do it as well as Erik Spoelstra. Now, I know some people hate on Erik Spoelstra, but he's a 2-time NBA champion as a head coach. Now, that may be credit to LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and probably Pat Riley. But this season, Erik Spoelstra was a finalist for the NBA Coach of the Year award this season. So, does that say something? Well, it's up to you. I'm a Miami Heat fan, and I will straight up say that the coaching at the start of the season probably didn't look very great. But towards the second half of the season, Miami Heat, the coaching staff, the whole turnaround was crazy. They went 30-11 in the second half of the season after starting off the year 11-30. If Spoelstra can turn Dion Waiters into a warrior killer and James Johnson into a crazy player in the NBA this season, where he hadn't been one for many years, if ever, well, imagine what he can do with Gordon Hayward. Number 3, the Miami Heat culture and Miami in general. Now, there's a lot of things I can say with this statement, because the Miami Heat culture, in my opinion, is one of the best in the NBA. Players want to play in Miami and compete, whereas in other teams, they want to play for that culture, but they don't really want to compete as hard as they do in Miami, and that's full credit to the Miami Heat organization. And people that really know NBA know the Miami Heat have crazy culture here. Now, remember when LeBron couldn't win a title in Cleveland as a perimeter-oriented player? He signed with the Miami Heat and under Erik Spoelstra, and Spoelstra embraced his post-game and he became one of the most efficient players in the league. With the Miami Heat culture, players will completely change the way they play if Miami is able to sign Gordon Hayward. And I don't know if Isaiah Thomas and Al Horford are really able to do that. I think with Miami, you can completely change the way you play if you sign Gordon Hayward. Because according to Basketball Reference, Hayward spent 29% of his minutes at power forward in Utah last season. In Miami, well, Erik Spoelstra liked to play LeBron James at the power forward position on offense on those Heat teams. And I think Erik Spoelstra can do exactly the same with Gordon Hayward. Pairing him up with someone like Justice Winslow or James Johnson would allow Hayward to play power forward on offense, drawing mismatches and increasing his efficiency, and on defense, Winslow or Johnson could guard the opposing force, which is exactly what Gordon Hayward needs. What Gordon Hayward doesn't need is to go back to a team that played at the slowest pace in the entire NBA. That's right, the Jazz played at the league's slowest pace in the entire NBA last season, which means that either Boston or Miami is a better fit for Hayward in my opinion. Don't go back to Utah if they play at the slowest pace. Well, they do have Ricky Rubio now, that's who they traded for in an attempt to, I guess, sign Gordon Hayward, because Ricky Rubio plays at a faster pace than George Hill, and he is also much more of a facilitator than George Hill was, so there you go. But number 4, and this is the biggest reason, Pat Riley. In Pat Riley, we trust. Here's one thing that we know about Pat Riley. If he gets a star on his team, he tries to get more. He did it when Dwayne Wade became a star player after one season, trading for Shaquille O'Neal. Then when Shaq left, he tried it again. He tried to get another sidekick. Shawn Marion, Michael Beasley. And even though they didn't really do as much as he would have wanted to, Shawn Marion was decent, Michael Beasley not so much. But when they didn't work out, they cleared enough to get Chris Bosh first, and then with that, they signed LeBron James. He knows what he's doing. They formed a big 3 and knocked off the NBA, won 2 NBA championships. And here's another thing we know about Pat Riley, he'll do it again. If Hayward signs with Miami Heat, does anyone really think that he will stop there? Because when other players become available on the trade block, Pat Riley will be on the phone trying to get as much help as possible to compete for another NBA championship. He will try and get Hayward another player to to win NBA championships with. Goran Dragic, Hassan Whiteside, Gordon Hayward, and another NBA star? Well, to me, that's as good as what the Boston Celtics can offer. The Celtics have yet to decide if they want to win now or develop assets, and Miami know that they want to win now. Plus, the Jazz, unfortunately for them, are caught in the Western Conference. LeBron is 32 years old, and in the East, it could be wide open in a few years. So for Gordon Hayward, it's either the Celtics or the Heat in my opinion, and those were 4 reasons why Gordon Hayward should sign with the Miami Heat. It's not a guarantee that signing with the Heat will result in competing for a championship, but nothing short of signing with the Warriors or the Cavaliers is, when you think about it, in the NBA. Is going to Boston really going to give you more of a chance to compete with Cleveland? And if you do compete with Cleveland, will you beat the Warriors? Probably not. So is any team worth signing with? Probably not. But when you want to talk about winning recently, well, the Miami Heat are the best at that. I mean, comparing to Utah, they've never even won an NBA championship. Boston hasn't gone to the NBA Finals in many, many years. So for the Miami Heat, well, they have a head coach that's been to the NBA Finals. They have a front office that's been to the NBA Finals. And for Gordon Hayward, who wants to go to the NBA Finals, come to Miami. So those were 4 reasons why Gordon Hayward should sign with the Miami Heat. Let me know down below. I wanted to make something different. Don't think I'm saying that Gordon Hayward has a higher chance to go to the Miami Heat than Boston, because I don't know. But I wanted to make this video simply because everybody else is making one on the Boston Celtics. But I think you guys also deserve to know from a different perspective as well. So if you guys enjoyed this video, it was something a little bit different, definitely hit that like button. Let's aim for 3,000 likes. Subscribe if you're new, if you want to see NBA videos every 3, 2, or every day. I'll catch you guys in my next video. I'm out. Peace.